our guy Unorthodox Mind, aka Perm, aka Josh, aka the real MVP, who says that I'm the real MVP, but I'll tell you in a minute about that. As I always do when I start one of these off, is I tell a really quick story about why I started the 20 and what this is all about. It's really simple. At one point, I don't have the fucking interview screen on. I'm such an idiot. It's okay. At one point, I started getting upset about Discord servers. That's odd that Discord doesn't work today. And I felt like it was bullshit. I felt like these communities were just in it for the person at the top or certain people at the top. I got discouraged, and on January 1st of 2019 this year, I decided that I was just going to choose 20 people that I thought were cool and that I'd been hanging out with already. And I started with about 12, 13 people, and I built it up to like 30 people. I think we got about 21 now. And the whole concept was just to support them, promote them, help them grow their channels if that's what they wanted to do, or in some cases just, be there for them. So I started this thing, hashtag the 20. I don't ask these people to do anything for me. All that I ask them, if it's okay to do, is when I tweet out, put a hashtag the 20 so that people know that these are the 20 people that I follow and promote. So with that said, man, this is our guy. And, my very first question for you is an easy one. I'm going to throw you a beach ball, sir.
Beach ball, I'll take it.
Throw you a beach ball. So tell us a little bit about, tell us what was the very first video game that you played when you were a kid?
I know I played some Atari from my dad's Atari games. I can't remember which ones. The ones I remember is he bought me an NES with Tetris.
Yeah, dude.
The original Nintendo. And then I remember for Christmas that year I got Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt?
That's what kicked it all off. Yep, fresh out of the box.
Now, second question, and then I'm going to go back to that one. So tell everybody where in the world you're at, not totally specifically, but relative, just so they get an idea where you come from.
West Tennessee, born and raised.
West Tennessee, born and raised.
Kind of boondockish, not really. I mean, I'm close enough to the city. I still get fiber internet.
Okay, so then back to the first question. It doesn't seem odd to me at all that a guy raised in somewhat the boondocks' first game would be Duck Hunt. That's pretty funny to me. Sorry.
I mean, really, that's all. I think that was a marketing deal in the South.
That might have been. It was, the Duck Hunt was big in Tennessee, right? Back in the day.
Definitely.
That wouldn't shock me at all. That wouldn't shock me at all. My next question for you is, so you're raised out, and for people that don't know that might be watching this from Europe or around the world, I live in California, Los Angeles, pretty metropolitan area just outside of Los Angeles, the suburbs, if you will, and for most of my life I spent all of it in the suburbs in Orange County, California, LA, California. So when I would hear the word Tennessee or Alabama or Georgia or anything basically, let's just say east of, say, Nevada, I thought to myself, well, those are just, Southerners. Those are country folk out that way, unless it was New York City or the upper Northeast. So just to even find a guy in Tennessee playing video games online kind of was interesting to me to begin with. But yeah, apparently they do have just a normal world out there just like we do. They just happen to be, 2,000 miles away from us. But how does a guy like you, decide one day to start playing video games and decide to, click on a button that says go live and start streaming? Because I'm gonna do this interview backwards, by the way, for you, because I know so much about you, but nobody else does, or people that watch this probably don't. But tell me why you started.
Oh, you're fine.
Tell me why you started going live.
Be honest, one of my buddies, while he was deployed, in one of my deployments, his brother would stream for him on games that came out that he couldn't play or whatever, and it was kind of just we didn't have anything else to do, so we'll watch somebody play video games. Just noticing the newcomers in, people getting to meet people, talk to people. I thought that was a cool way of, other than just, select fire, throw a dart, and randomly land on somebody and go, hey, you want to be friends?
Right.
And then, turn turning out a different way. This was a more in-depth way of you doing you while somebody watches you do you, and kind of get them to know that way and see where it goes. More or less, just I found it's a whole lot better matchmaking system, if that's the way I could say it. Plus, I mean, I like talking to people. So
Right.
that was really it. And I was like, screw it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
So then
Nothing.
I'm gonna navigate this carefully, and just for people that are watching this, I don't tell Josh the questions I'm gonna ask him. And trust me when I tell you, I've asked enough questions on these interviews to be shocked by the answers. So, if you can, is the reason why you have some challenges talking to some people have to do with just you in general, just the way you grew up, or does it have to do with your service time?
Um, it's a combination. I'd say more on the heavy set side of the way I was raised.
The way you're raised, okay,
Because granted, you California suburb subdivision kind of thing, you're around more people. The only time I really was ever around people was just at school, and then it was the southern schooling. Here's what you got to learn today. You know what you got to learn today. Either A, go play, go practice football, or B, go to work.
right,
So your socialism down here is very, or was very slim. And then on top of that, I'm always been a reactive guy. I've learned best from my military time. If you jump in initially with any type of goal, it's usually poor planning on the front end. So it's usually better to sit back, see what's going to unfold, and just find your mark to,
right.
to go. Okay, this is my time to say what's up.
Right. So when I met Josh, he very quickly shared with me, and I don't think I'm sharing anything he doesn't tell everybody else, but he has some challenges sometimes with some of his social interaction. I mean, it comes to the point of where I think it causes him to panic sometimes about it. He's told me, and I thought that was amazing, based on the fact that here's this guy that's so chatty in all these chats, and here's this guy that's so supportive all over town, and yet deep down inside he's really just a complete introvert. Like he really
100%.
doesn't. Yeah, he
100%.
really does not like this big crowd. He really doesn't like people in general. Like as far as the interaction on a large scale, and yet here he is pressing a button to go live and basically live stream his fucking life, his game, his dog, his kids are hanging around all the time, and he's very transparent. But let's talk about that, man, because that's what I really want to get into with you. Where did this giving, this kind, considerate, where did that motivation come from? Is that just the way you're raised? Oh, look at this little peanut. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
The giving, the giving side. Once I got out of the military and came back home, of course you always hear Vietnam era guys coming back getting spit on, blah blah blah.
Right.
It's completely different now. I mean, you still get the handshake and the appreciate what you did, and the the everybody keeps the card in their pocket phrases.
Right.
But I just figured, seeing other people just go through their daily grind, day after day, day after day, day after day, and just being excited for the weekend, or something minute. I was like, why not just put your foot in the door before it closes, throw some stuff inside, let it shut, and just see what happens. I mean, what's it gonna hurt? Give somebody a little bit of a sparkle, something. I mean, you never know how far it'll go. And I enjoyed. I mean, even just rolling through random as heck streams, just, hey, how you doing? Good stream. Drop 50 bits and just roll. Don't even wait for a response. I mean, stuff like that. I mean, even on my end, I see it happen to me, and there's other people out there. It's just not you waking up going, okay, here's what I got to do today. I hope this X number of people will be involved, and then I'll go to bed and rinse and repeat.
Right.
Just something out of the ordinary, out of the box.
Yeah, definitely. Live streaming or video gameplay is definitely not the normal day to day that most people go through. So little history slash story for guys and gals that are watching this. You know, I started this thing, and as the months have gone by, I mean, it's now been, you know, a little over a half a year I've been doing this, and it's gotten a little traction, you know, on a very, very small scale. But for me, you know, anytime I've got 20, 30 people hanging around me all the time that I know really well, to me, that's a pretty big deal. And people started asking me, you know, hey, man, how do I get into this 20 thing? And other people were like, what is this thing? And I love it when they ask, what is this thing? Because then I tell them, you know, the story over and over again. Some people are probably sick of hearing it. But this guy, you know, I'm loading up my next question for you. This guy came out of nowhere. I have no idea where he came from. I have no idea what his motivations were. I had no idea what he was after, you know, because, again, you know, not to make this at all about me, because it's not, but, you know, I'm a salesman, man, so I'm always looking at the angles, you know. I'm always looking for where's the hook here? Where's the hook? There's got to be a hook, you know. And my wife always tells me, not everybody's out to get something, you know. I'm like, no, everybody's got motivation, everybody. So this guy comes out of nowhere, man, and just drops, like, I mean, just a ridiculous amount of donations and bits and subs, and I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, there's gotta be something to it. So my question after all that is, how in the hell did you come across me? Where did you find me?
Well,
how did you decide to stay for more than a minute and watch me? I want to know that story.
The story proceeded, and this is literally step by step. So you know Camo, I watch Camo, I'm a mod and stuff, yada yada.
A little bit though.
Well, he received Camo came out of another circle of friends in my Destiny community, and it just kind of branches off the way everything does. So I was watching Camo, and then one day he was wearing a jersey, and it was one of Angry's jerseys. And I was like, dude, that's a dope jersey. Where'd you get that? And he told me. So then I, you know, went and checked out Angry. And he mentioned something one day that started the Invictus conversation. Well, the Invictus conversation then led to you being another streamer that was very supportive within the Invictus community. So I came by and checked out yours, and just watching you here, there, hearing all the stuff, I was like, this dude drops a lot of support. He sends out a lot of feelers. And me and my personal nature, being the introvert and imp that I am, I always know you give 140%, you're probably going to get 3%. Guaranteed. That's just the way I look. I'd rather look at it on the worst side and then be uplifted than look at it on the best side and be let down. So I was like, you know what? This dude, from everything I've heard, is just, you know, giving it his all. So let's just throw him some, you know. So I dropped in, checked you out. I was like, yeah, dude's cool, got a good content, good stream, active, laughy, talky. I was like, man, what's it gonna hurt? Let's just give him what I've got.
Yeah, man, you did.
That's the way, you know, you see people helping old ladies cross the street metaphorically. I mean, it's more than a handshake. I'm not gonna do the handshake. You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
I'm gonna give you more props.
Am I the old lady? Am I the old lady in this story, or are you the old lady in this story?
No, I'm the old lady.
Yes, nice.
I'm having issues.
Yes, nice.
You know, it's not just a thank you, good sir, and shake his hand. No, pull something out of your pocket and make him feel good about it.
Right. So then let's talk about Destiny 2. Let's talk about the Division. Let's talk about some of the games that you like to grind. Tell me what really is your favorite game going right now, the one that you think to yourself, hey man, whether I'm on stream or not, I gotta be playing this game. This is my game right now. Like if streaming went away tomorrow and none of us were on Twitch, what game are you still firing up tomorrow right now?
Right now, this week at least, it'd be Destiny. Next week it could change. Because let's see, I played it. I got an Xbox when it was like 06, 07.
Oh wow.
The 360. I had the original block that I just played a bunch of Need for Speed and stuff like that on. You know, no multiplayer, no online, blah, whatever. So I got the 360, got online, started with the original Rainbow Six, and that got me into the shooters. Then joined the Army, got into the Call of Duty thing, and then I deployed. So once I started all my combat tours, I took a really long break. So most of my gameplay went into the like Skyrim type games and Witcher type games.
Oh wow. Okay.
And with that, I got really engulfed into the MMORPGs or RPGs or whatever. And then when those kind of burn out, Halo and Destiny, those came along, so it engulfed both. You got a storyline and you got a shooter. So Destiny really grabbed me. So I'd say right now Destiny's my number one. We'll fold back on the Division on the second half, just due to the shooter aspect and the tactics of it, which relate back into my skill sets. And it's a fun game. It's got a little bit of a storyline, but Destiny right now was just the metric crap load of content that's available. It's almost never ending.
So how many kids do you have, Josh?
I have 3.
Is that your oldest
currently
one behind
looking
you?
at oldest? This is Madison.
Madison, adorable.
Yeah.
And then the little peanut that had that what's going on with your little one there that was there with the towel?
JJ. Let me grab him real quick.
You know, I have that exact same headset, but I never use that mute feature.
The Astros.
I don't think it works for me. What's going on with JJ?
Okay, so JJ here has a form of I just had a brain fart. What's that hair loss condition? No. Can't remember what it is. So JJ has that form of hair loss, okay, and extremely bad eczema attack on top of that.
Oh man.
So if you see right now, he's got like a nice George Jefferson look going.
Yeah. George Jefferson.
So he's just now getting this back. But he deals with a lot of issues. He's allergic to pretty much everything except for air.
Yeah. My son has also got horrible eczema, allergic to milk, allergic to peanuts, the whole thing. So.
Yeah.
Well, hi, JJ.
He went from. You gonna say hey? Say hey. Are you gonna fall?
Like his dad, a little shy, a little shy. And then what about your other one? Where's the other one wandering around? What's the other one doing? Oh, you don't got to bring them all in, Josh. I just want to know.
Oh no, we're good.
We're going full send. Okay, I love it.
Come here.
Oh.
This is number 2. This is Zoe.
Zoe.
Slide down a little bit.
Hi,
That's
Zoe. Adorable,
Say
man.
hey.
Your family's beautiful, Josh.
All right, go watch these. She's my social clone. She's very awkward.
I always see your oldest daughter hanging out with the pooch.
Yeah,
What's the pooch's
she can't
name?
get enough attention. This is Ruger, and he's an attention.
Ruger, like as in a Ruger, like as in a gun Ruger.
Yeah.
Nice.
Come on, bed.
So I know everybody tells you this when they see you, but I truly do want to tell you, man. Like, I have a really big special place in my heart for people that serve. I wasn't able to serve. I tried to serve. I had some stuff which I won't go into too deeply, but they wouldn't take me, you know. And so I certainly am in my heart of hearts wanted to serve, couldn't serve, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for you guys that do, because the reality is this, man, is none of us get to do anything that we do, honestly, today without you guys that are willing to go and serve for us, for sure. So I want to say thank you for that, but I want to also ask you, how much of that experience do you feel like drives who you are today, or is it more who you were before you went into the service that drives who you are today? How much of that influenced what drives you today in your motivations? I can
easily say that when I joined in 2007, it was a light switch. Just due to the fact that when I joined, it wasn't let's give it a shot. No, it was I was in my second year of college. Wasn't for me. You know, jobs at that point in time weren't going very well, and you know, I was a 20-year-old, you know, hard ass that didn't do anything but what he wanted to.
That's funny.
So it was a drop out and be homeless or look at options. So I just literally walked up to the Army recruiting office one day and said, "What y'all got going on? You got anything?" He was like, "You think you can handle it?" And I was like, hey, of course at that time I was like, "Yeah, I can do whatever you throw at me." Exactly. So literally 3 weeks later I was shipped off to MEPS. So Who I am today is, I would guarantee, to be a 97% reflection upon 2007 and after.
That's awesome.
And just, and just a 3% foundation on how I was raised. Because the military is just, it's a very solid basis on what I had before. Just due to the fact of, you do what you got to do, you do what I tell you to do, and you go on about your day.
Man, I need to hire you to come and raise my kids for me, man. I wish I had. I'm missing that piece for me, man. I let my kid just tell me everything what to do. I don't know. Maybe it'll change for you when they get a little older. Maybe you'll feel as helpless as I do. But
I hope not.
So, tell me this. I think that you and I and most of the people that I follow in this thing are probably all cut from a very similar cloth, in the sense that we don't have this delusion about, hey, I'm going to get really big and be sitting in my freaking bedroom streaming for the rest of my life and quit my job. I think we take this for what it is something that's really fun. Occasionally we get a couple of dollars here and there from it, but for the most part it's a social interaction. I know for me, I was telling a couple of my friends the other day, I was a theater major, when I was in school, and I wanted to be in theater and in acting, and at some point reality strikes and you got to go you got to go make some money, like you said, or do something drastic. And so for me, I think I left a part of what was really enjoyable for me behind 20 years ago, and so this really fills that void for me. What do you think moving forward? Tell me a little bit about I'm trying to get to Task Force. So tell me about Task Force. Tell me about the name, where it came from, the concept behind it.
Task Force, of course, is a complete and 100% clone spinoff of the 20, in the making.
Perfect.
It would be really easy if I just pulled every name you've got and just supported them too. That'd make it really easy on me. But I'm currently working on trying to find the people, make sure I'm making right choices on the people, making sure I'm just not picking names and not getting, not representing a good name, pretty much. I don't want to put my name on the line with, somebody that's not worth it. But as far as the name goes, Task Force, every unit I was ever in my service, it was a Task Force unit. We had a specific mission. And then the Spearhead was easy. I was a combat engineer, explosives, ordnance, blowing stuff up. Cool.
Wow.
But the very first line of our creed was, we are sappers, we're the tip of the spear. So Task Force Spearhead, didn't take much thought, just kind of threw it on paper, and I was like, yep, that'll work.
Perfect.
We'll see how it goes. So
no, it's going really well.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna catch. You've got the 20, which is, everybody's like, what's the 20? Right. I want to know what the 20 is.
Right.
My Task Force Spearhead, I'm just trying to create a group that can do exactly how yours is doing, eventually evolving into their own. And that's all a task force is. You do your job, you train people on how to do their job.
That's exactly it.
I'm hoping, and I'm hoping it's a train the trainer, train the trainer kind of ordeal. It just rolls.
Yeah, man. No, thank you. Thank you for saying that. And the hardest part of doing this whole thing, even to this, to put light on, what we're doing right here and now. It's like people constantly, and like I said, I get it because I grew up in that culture, man. It's like, well, what's the catch here? And it's just strange to be able to tell someone there's no catch, man. We're just, the real concept behind this whole thing that I passed on to you guys, and that you've done such a great job, and Cookie's done such a great job of so far, is that it doesn't matter what you say or what you think or what your opinion is of what I'm doing. The reality is I can't focus on 300 people that I'm following and try to truly support all 300 of them. The reality is someone's constantly going to fall through the cracks. But if I have just 10, 15, 20 people and I kind of dedicate myself to them, who knows what's going to come of it? Because I didn't know that this was going to come of it. I didn't know I was going to do interviews. Like, I didn't sit down one day and go, hey man, I'm going to develop this whole thing and we're going to do this. It was like a few weeks in, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do some interviews with these people. And they were like, genius, great idea. And I'm like, let's go, you know, and then that's what we've done, you know. So like, I don't do this for any other reason than, you know, at some point on Twitter and the next day, I'm going to throw it up. I'm going to put your name on it. I'm going to put the name of Task Force on it. I'm going to say, go check this guy out. And if we get just one person that finds it that didn't know about us before and they start hanging around in our community, you know, those people are going to be stoked because our community is absolutely, to me, the very best community I've ever seen because of the people like yourself, like all those other people that I constantly put up on my screen and talk about. And that's just equated to, you know, finding some better communities on Discord, which I hated in the beginning. And now, as you know, I truly have found one that I've really fallen in love with because that community has said, hey, it's about the community, not about you. And so that's the Grizzly Nation, obviously. And I thought, you know, I was worried, and this will be my last kind of question for you. I thought, you know, to myself, man, everybody I started watching like play in the Grizzly Nation, they all had these long, bushy beards like you, and I'm like, shit, man, I don't think I can get into this group. I think you gotta have a beard, like a big old beard, to be in this group. And finally, I found some women and some clean face, shaven face guys. I was like, okay, maybe I can do it. But strangely enough, man, there's a gentleman that just popped in a chat named Spooky Boy O. Spooky Boy O, I believe, came in last night asking, hey, can you help me grow my channel? And I said, yeah, and he mentioned that he was from Tennessee. And I said, you better go give this guy Unorthodox Mind a follow because he is my Tennessee correspondent. He's the man running Tennessee.
Liaison.
Yeah, he's my liaison in Tennessee. Yeah, dude, thanks, Crooked. Everybody that's coming in the chat, you're not seeing it maybe at this point. We're getting follows and all this other shit. So my last couple questions are gonna be this one. What is something that you've been hard pressed to talk about, want to talk about, not sure you want to talk about, not sure you want to reveal, but tell us something that we haven't found out about you on stream that would be cool for us to know about you that may or may not shock us, but that'd be something that would, you know, we won't forget, so to speak, if there's something that you'd be willing to tell us.
Man, that's the really interesting part. I'm literally like, and this is in all intents and purposes 100% truth. I'm literally, you flipped a rock and didn't find anything underneath it. I mean, that's the truth. I've like molded my life to the point where if you don't know I exist, then I've had a good day. Like and it's not like a, you know, a oh, loathe me kind of thing. No, it's just, you know, I've got what I've got to do, and if I become noticed or anything and you know, existential happens that might bring light into me, I try to avoid those situations. So, you know, I don't play the lottery, you know, I drive used trucks, you know, just simple stuff. I get up, I'm a routine guy, meat, potatoes, and carrots. Other than really my military service, my wife, 3 kids, and my, you know, sporadically decent gaming career, that's really about it. And an extremely decent beard from just pure laziness.
Extremely decent beard from laziness.
That's it, man. God. I mean that's really how I do my thing. I wake up, I make sure that everything I've got to get done for the day is done. My bills are paid. After that, then I go into, you know, let's see who I can make smile. That's really it. Because even like when you mentioned the 20, you know, after I got everything settled, I went through my Twitch list and I probably unfollowed and unsubscribed to probably 30 to 60 people, give or take. Yep. Just due to the fact that I'm like, I haven't clicked on this link in 3 weeks. What's the point?
Yeah.
Sure. And other than my current 3, including you, and then, you know, Cook, Cosmic, etc. I still got Lucy. Those kind of things. I've still got 1 or 2 that I hang out with, and then I'll still do my like Saturday night roll. I'll just scroll through Twitch, just pick somebody with like 2 to 3 viewers, drop them 50 bits, and just leave. Nice, just in the simple fact that, you know, at midnight on a Saturday night, somebody's going to need a smile, whether he's enjoying the game or not. You know, at least know that he's not there, you know, ghosting through Twitch. So,
For sure, man.
other than that, I turn the lights off and I rinse repeat.
I got a comedian in the chat right now. He was saying that he told us that he worked with explosive. He goes, I think that's enough. Like about your trying to not be detected thing. It's pretty funny.
I mean that's the cool thing about explosives. It's either I get it done right or all of a sudden it's not my problem anymore. You know?
All of a sudden it's not
You
my
either get it
problem
right and
anymore.
go home, or
Get
it right and go home, or you don't deal with it.
Well, listen, man, I don't know how deep dive we went here, and I knew that it wasn't going to be too much of a deep dive with you because you're pretty transparent about everything. But, you know, from me to you, man, I think you know that I think you're just a very unique individual. I find it very odd that a guy who really doesn't want to be noticed pushes a button to go live and let whoever in the world would like to come and notice him. And the reason why you do it is really unique as opposed to most of the other people that are on Twitch, you know. I think deep down inside,
everybody's trying to get rich.
Yeah, not to get rich, but I mean, for me, deep down inside, I want the attention. You know, deep down inside, I enjoy the attention. It means something to me, not from a sense of, hey, I want to get rich, give me money, but more just like, hey, I want to make you laugh. Hey, this is something that I've always wanted to be and do, and so it fills that for me for sure. And
yeah,
for
you want life enrichment.
Yeah, and for you, you're just trying to socialize in a way that's really comfortable and controllable, you know? And I identified that really quickly with you. It's like, hey, man, this guy just wants to hook up and meet people and have some social, interaction with people. But he wants to do it, like if he wants to hit end and stop immediately, he doesn't want to have to say goodbye. He doesn't want to have to explain himself. He just wants to get the fuck out, you know? And so
click the red button.
That's the thing I love about you the most, man. Really, is that you're a guy doing something that he absolutely should not be doing based on what he wants to be going on in his life every day, and yet you push that button regularly about 5 days a week. You've been a huge influence on me. You've been a huge influence on a lot of other people. I really appreciate you, Josh. I appreciate you letting me follow you around and hashtag you, man, and I appreciate you wanting to grow your community as well, man. Thank you so much, dude. Like, we haven't even begun yet, bro. This thing has become more than I could have imagined. I just started out wanting to follow 20 people, and now I've got more than that, plus a bunch of people, you know, that want to now go and find their own 20 people. And don't worry about only having 3, man. It took me a long time to build up to this. I mean, I didn't just find them overnight, because you want to be careful. You want to find people that you know are going to be supportive, cool people, man. So, with all that said, I want to just send a huge shout out to, the Stream Raiders, because they were the initial people that got me into raiding people. And although I don't spend much time in that community anymore, I want to give them a shout out because I think it's proper. I want to give a huge shout out to Invictus, obviously, because I wouldn't be talking to Josh right now if it wasn't for Invictus. And then obviously, more recently, the Grizzly Nation, man. Most of those guys are hanging out right now watching this, and we thank you guys for being here. Cookie just gave you 200 bits. I don't know why it's in my channel, Cookie. TTV First Class. Just gave you 200 bits. I love it. Let's go. But, hey, man, I really appreciate you spending this time with me. I know that usually you do some family stuff on the weekends and stuff, man. But I love you, brother, and I look forward to continuing to grow this thing with you. And we'll get this video out in the next day or so, and we'll get you promoted and get more people coming to watch a guy that doesn't want to be watched.
Hell yeah, bro.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, my man.
We're going to do big things.
Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your destiny.
Hell yeah, brother. I will definitely see you later on, dude.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Yo, there he was. That was him, dudes. That was freaking Unorthodox Mind. And I know some of you guys came in late to the chat, but I'm just going to fucking tell you right now, man. This guy is a truly fucking unique guy, man. I mean, just truly, truly unique. It's You just don't find people like this guy anymore. It's crazy, man. It's just insane. You know, for those of you that may not know about the Midwest, you know, there's a common thought amongst people that live in this country that the Midwest is where the wholesome, like, solid values, morals, most of those people come from the Midwest out here, man. I'm just telling you, that's just the way it is. But thank you for those of you in chat. Thank you, Cricket, for coming by. Thank you, Delta, for coming by. Thank you, Cookie, for coming by. Thank you, Man1K67, for coming by. I appreciate you saying that, man. I'm probably going to hop off here for just a little bit and then come back with my normal shenanigans in gaming. But I like to go live and do these interviews, not because, I mean, I know I could do it offline, record it, and then put it up for you guys, but I like to be able to have you guys sneak in here to chat and throw some shit in here so that I can potentially, you know, get some more content out of whatever questions I might ask these guys. But this whole thing in its entirety will be up. There you go. There you go, man. 1K, dude. There you go. This whole thing will be up in its entirety probably sometime tomorrow. I hope that you guys will, when you see the tweet, retweet it and get some people over to get to know the bearded man who likes to drop biddies and leave channels. He's a fucking amazing dude. You guys are amazing. But for now, I'm gonna pull the plug on this thing, and then I'll be back probably gaming here just a little bit later. Love you guys, and I will catch you guys a little bit later. All right. Whoa, whoa, motherfucker! Just popping in with 5 gifted. What's up? What's up? Let's go. Oh my God.
Oh my, he's on fire.